Hey, what's going on everyone? Shiva Sapkota here with another electric bike review. Today we're taking a look at the Lectric XP 3.0 e-bike. This is the third best-selling electric vehicle in the United States after Tesla Model Y and Tesla Model 3. And there is a reason for that. Lectric makes really high-quality electric bikes, and if you are going out on a park or anywhere there is a bike trail, you are likely to spot electric e-bike because they are widely popular throughout the country and throughout the world. So Lectric sent us this bike free of charge to review in our channel. If you go through their e-bike section, you'll find a lot of different e-bike categories, and XP 3.0 is what we're reviewing today. And they make a step-through version, long-range version. They have a whole bunch of different options. There's the white version, so you can choose between different options here. So XP 3.0, but we did get it in the long-range battery pack, which is the 14 amp hour. It's listed at $11.99, but if you just get the standard battery pack, you can get $9.99, and you can get all the way up to 45 miles of range with pedal assist. And they show that right here. It shows all of that information. Comfort package, this is that giant seat with the suspension seat post. They show the top speed, everything here, all of the spec, the community guide, whole bunch of YouTube reviews, the size. They even talk about the ranges, the independent range tester that they have done. And if you scroll through, this is where you're gonna see a lot of customer reviews. So even if we were to just click one, lots and lots of happy customers. That's why I got really excited when Lectric reached out that they wanted to send me a bike to review, because looks like everybody loves this bike. So awesome. This is the first time I'm reviewing an electric bike, but what I've been told is that doesn't require a lot of setup. The box looks really nice, sturdy. UPS did a good job, no damages outside. So let's open this up and see what the packaging looks like. The packaging looks really good. If you look at it, it's foam padded, it's very protected, all the components everywhere. So even if the box was damaged, which my box is not, this should hold up pretty well. So this is just straight out of the box. We got the seat post, we got the charger, and that bike looks pretty much intact. We just have to unfold it. And as I said, no special tools required. I believe you just put the seat post there, and then we may have to do something with the steering wheel. Now we have taken out most of the foam. We have done zero installation, just going around cleaning up the foam. We are ready to get this upright and put the handlebar here. So to do that, it is super simple. You literally just flip this. So when you flip this, now before you slide this, just know that there is this battery protecting cover that you just have to remove. That way the battery goes in. So you gotta remove that first. Now you're able to just simply slide this. If you look at it, it balances out. You just press that. So the bike is pretty much done. We just need to install the handlebar. Now for the handlebar here, we just have to raise this up. So that's it. Next thing we're gonna do is unclamp this. Clamp right here. There is a little screw you can use to loosen this on the back. And then we just bring this handlebar up, align it here. You can set this to your height, your liking. I'm just going to put it somewhere here. Then we're going to bring the clamp and secure this. And if it is too loose, then you can first tighten the screw on the back and then bring the clamp and secure this in place. The seat post installation is pretty typical. Unclamp this, just like any other seat post you would install. Slide this to your height, then you simply clamp this back on and we're good to go. Just like that, within 3 steps and no tools required, this bike is good to go. So they definitely thought about the consumers and what makes the most sense. Not a very difficult process, because some e-bikes we have reviewed come with a lot of steps. You gotta unscrew something tight. This does not require any of that. So I am really happy that Lectric figured that out. Now, one thing I can't help but notice are all the warning labels. I mean, there is one for the wheels, there is in the front, there's one for the shifter, there's one for this handle, there's one for the brakes, keys. There's warning labels everywhere for the rear rack. I mean, so many different warning labels. And at first I'm like, why do they got to put so many warning labels? But it clearly states what not to do, what to do. It says do not exceed the maximum payload on here. So it just gives you, if you are a novice e-bike user, it just kind of gives you a warning of like what not to do so that you are safe. Before your first ride, I would recommend fully charging the battery, and you can do that in 2 different ways. One is you can simply plug it in through this port there, or you can fold this bike from the back. To take out the battery, you just have to push this towards the front. There's this little notch here, and if you push that, it allows you to take that clamp out, and we can simply fold this, and that's your battery right there. So you can then take out the battery. Let me see if it needs a key. So yeah, it does need a key. So you would have to first insert a key from the bottom here. So there is a hole where you can put the key, and once you put the key, you can unlock the bike. And right here, there is a little notch, you see that? That needs to go fully inside. So it goes inside, now you take out the key, now you are able to simply slide the battery out, and this is the battery for the Lectric. Wow, it's longer than I thought. So that is your battery. Now we can just take this inside and just charge the battery. I really like that they put a padding here on both sides of this battery, because if they don't have this padding, the battery might rattle a little bit by touching the frame. We have had that issue with other electric bikes in the past with a removable battery like this. So kudos to Lectric for even adding the foam padding here. Folding this e-bike and tucking it away is a very simple process as well. You just have to push this lever a little bit towards the front, unlock this, and you can simply fold this bike. Now, while you are folding this, take the kickstand up, and if you look at it, it becomes a very small bike, super easy to fold into its place. Not only that, the handlebar folds as well. So if you were to latch this, put this down, this e-bike just became a lot smaller. This is where they actually send you a Velcro tie down. So if you want to really have this folded and not move, then you can put this Velcro to secure this so that this does not move. If you are transporting in a truck, I would put either the bungee strap or just a ratchet strap so that this doesn't move, but this is pretty good now. It has become pretty small. Let me see if this fits in my Model Y trunk. So one big advantage of this electric bike for Tesla Model Y owners or any mid-size SUV is that this bike completely fits in the trunk without needing to fold the seat. So this is entirely in the trunk, and it gets ready in no time. So all I have to do is take this bike out, and the seat is already installed and everything. So I didn't even have to do that step. So I'm almost done. I just have to lift this, that, and I can ride off in this. So if you want to take this to a park, or if you want to go hiking and just have this here, that took me no time to set it up, and this is ready to go. Let's talk about the specification before we take you out on a ride, starting with this headlight in the front and then an integrated tail light in the back. This is where a lot of e-bike manufacturers cut cost and they just give you a reflector. This does have a full tail light in the back. One thing it doesn't do is if you try to brake, it doesn't blink like some of the other e-bikes, so that would be my recommendation for Lectric. As far as the frame, this is a aluminum 6000 series frame. This bike weighs about 62 pounds with the battery, that's 7 pounds included. You do get a suspension seat post with the package. I don't know if mine was a special, but they do show that in their website if you buy this suspension seat post. And then this is a very large seat in the back. The rear rack is unheard of because it has max 150 pounds, which is very impressive because we typically see 20, 30 pounds, but it has multiple point of connection with the frame, so they are able to do that. This is a fully folding electric bike, including a height adjustment from the steering here, as well as the height adjustment for the seat. I'm putting a full specification of the height and everything in the screen right now. Looking through the wheels here, you see this metal fender, giving you more of a rugged look on the front and the back, and it also lasts longer than the plastic ones that we have seen. The wheel is a 20 by 3 inch Lectric branded wheel, and you see the tires here. It has got some really nice treads. These are not totally off-road treads, but you can hop through grass surfaces and a paved surfaces really easily. Overall, an all-round bike. You do get a folding pedals here. These are metallic pedals on both sides, and they fold, making it easier to ride. And you also get a very sturdy kickstand. And this is where you got a 500 watt nominal power motor, but this peaks at around 1000 watt. The brake here is a hydraulic disc brake rather than a mechanical disc brake that we have seen on other e-bikes. This is a 180 millimeter rotor, and this hydraulic disc brake performs really well. We're gonna show you here in just a second. The battery is housed right here in the middle. This is a long-range battery. In our bike, it's a 14 amp hour, but you can also get a standard range, which is about 10.7 amp hour, 48 volt battery with UL certification. Now moving on to the front here, you see this really nice grip, comfortable grip on the right. You see half twist throttle, big fan of half twist throttle here. You also get this shifter. This is a Shimano shifter that we saw. They are using a Torney derailleur in the bottom. This is our phone mount. We'll talk about that here in just a second. And then you have got this really nice LCD screen in the middle. It is easily visible at night or daytime, and it shows all the information here, the energy bar, the odometer. You see that the headlight is turned on, and then you see the control in the left here with this grip here. And then with the control, if you look at it, I left this loose so we can look at it. This is the power, so you press and hold the power button, and then the backlight turns on, the screen turns on, and then right here you can go between different pedal assist mode by pressing here, as well as if you press and hold, that is when you go into the P settings where you can change different settings. Before we do our testing, we're going to install one of this accessory that actually came with the bike. This is a bike mount. This is from Lectric. Looks very high quality. There's a lock in the back, so if you unlock it, this expands. If you lock it, this does not expand. It's a ball joint here, so you just have to loosen this to put this. But the mount is also super simple, and they actually send you plenty of gripping here, so it should be able to fit anywhere. So we're just going to unlock this here and then simply clamp it right here, put the bike mount, and then we're going to do some speed testing. When you first get this bike, it is going to be max capped at 20 miles per hour speed. So if you want to increase the speed, this is the step you follow. Please check your local laws. Some of the areas it is illegal to go above 20 miles per hour, but this bike can go to level 3, which is 28 miles per hour. So stock factory, it'll just come as 20 miles per hour locked. So if you were to press and hold this plus and minus sign, just for a little bit, you get one, and then press this power button and cycle through and go to your setting 8. And this is where it is set to 32. Now if you increase that to 100, now all of a sudden you unlock level 3 on your Lectric XP 3.0. Now you can either just press and hold or just let it go, and then it goes back to this screen. Keep in mind that it will only go to 28 with the pedal assist 5. If you pull the throttle, it will still be limited to 20, but if you pedal assist 5, you can get to 28. Let's test that theory. So we tested this bike for the last couple of days, and we're ready to talk about the specification against the road numbers that we found. Let's start with the range. This is a 14 amp hour battery pack. That means this is the long range battery pack for the Lectric XP 3.0. The manufacturer claims that you can get up to 65 miles of range. Well, when you look at the number, you have to consider how did they test this and where the number is coming from. They say that they tested it in a flat terrain on a normal climate, and that may not be the real world experience. So we tested it a little bit crazily. We went some uphill. We're trying to get the max 28 miles per hour top speed, and we're using mostly throttle. So riding in pedal assist level 5 and a full throttle, trying to go that maximum speed, we were able to achieve 24 miles of range before the battery basically completely died. We got to about 22 miles of range when we felt that the battery wasn't pushing us. The juice was almost out because I had to pedal quite a bit at that distance. So about 22 to 25 miles, that's what you can expect if you are riding like me, where it was a little bit of uphill, some downhill, but mostly with that fast speed of 28 miles per hour, pedal assist 5 and full throttle. That is a little bit lower than their estimate and their testing that it shows, but not by that much. And again, they tested in a flat terrain and idle condition. Ours was not an idle condition. If I was going pedal assist 1, 2, or 3 on a flat surface, I have no doubt I could achieve that 65 miles of range, no problem. But with the highest speed and pedal assist level 5 and going just mostly throttle, just zipping through town, I was able to get that 24 miles of range. As far as charging goes, it took us about 8 hours to fully charge this battery after it was completely dead. For the speed, we were able to achieve that maximum 28 miles per hour speed at pedal assist level 5. The throttle only speed was capped at 20 miles per hour, and if we were turning it, we just saw that it maxed out at 20 miles per hour. So another test we're gonna run here is how much speed I get on each pedal assist mode with just normal pedaling. Not insane pedaling, not fast pedaling, just cruising around, what I can expect to get. Looks like about 9 miles per hour in pedal assist 1. Pedal assist 2 definitely bumps it up. I'm getting somewhere in the 13 miles per hour range. Pedal assist 3, again, just normal driving. 16, 17 miles per hour, 18. I'm actually getting the full 20 miles per hour. So it looks like at pedal assist 3, you get the full power regardless. Pedal assist 4. Yep. The speed actually stays the same after 3 looks like, and this is 5. I'm easily getting that max 20 starting and inching towards that 28 right there. For uphill, we were able to maintain somewhere in the 14 to 15 miles per hour speed, just going straight uphill from 10 to 15% grade. Towards the 10% grade, the speed was even higher to 17 and 18 miles per hour. At around 15% grade, we were able to get 15 miles per hour top speed. The bike did not struggle at all, and what it felt like was a steady giving us the power as we went uphill. It didn't get stuck. I didn't have to pedal. It was full throttle mode. Just throttle. Wow, we're getting 14, 15 miles per hour. That's pretty impressive for a 500 watt, 1000 watt peak motor. Yeah, at a 20 miles per hour top speed, we're still getting about 15 miles per hour through that hill there. Now there's another pretty decent sized hill that is coming up, so we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna put the bike into pedal assist 5, and we're just going to let this run. As you can see, it's a pretty steep grade that we're going through. It's holding at 14, 15 miles per hour through this grade. A little bit more of this. Yeah, it holds it at that speed, which is really good. Like some bikes, they go up to that speed and then they just cut out because there's too much torque that is required, and this does not do that. As far as braking, we don't have a specialized equipment to test the distance or whatnot. We don't review a whole bunch of electric bikes in the channel, but I did wanted to show you this footage. Next, we're gonna do a braking test. Not sure how good the GPS is going to be, but basically we're gonna bring the bike to a full speed here. So it's 20 miles per hour, 21 now. We apply the brake, and that is how quickly it braked. Of course, there is going to be times when we need to ride this at night, so I wanted to show you what that looks like here. And let's turn the headlight on. As you can see, it illuminates quite a bit of distance here. So it has got a wide view, and then I'm going to show you what that looks like actually riding it. And we have got a really visible, I mean, even from far away, that tail light you can see. Let me show you what it looks like riding it. So here, if you ignore this light and coming from the LCD screen, this is what it looks like. Please excuse the flare from the camera. Let's turn on the headlight. And you saw that, it illuminated. So now, this is what it looks like, just cruising in this bike at nighttime. This is complete darkness here, and it illuminates the path quite well. I mean, I could see the leaves, I could see the path. So that's your night ride testing. About to make a turn here, and it is illuminating the path quite well. We really like that this is a super portable electric bike. It folds in half. We showed you multiple times how this goes on a Tesla Model Y. You can fit this on a mid-size SUVs, or of course full-size SUV. You can fit 2 of this. So it does a really good job at being very, very portable. And that's what we need these days. If you don't have a trailer hitch, I don't have to worry about that on my Tesla. I can just fold this bike, put it in a trunk, and I don't have to fold the seat, which is a big plus, because some of the full-size e-bikes like this, I often have to either fold the seat or I have to take out the front tire. I don't even have to take out the seat saddle for this thing to fit in the trunk of my bike. With the Tesla, I can go to a supercharger, take this bike, I can zip through town, I can go grab a bite to eat, just with my electric bike while my Tesla is charging at a supercharger. So if you're a Tesla owner, if you have a Model Y, this is a great electric bike to fit on that Model Y's trunk. We also found this bike to be really safe. We have tested a lot of electric bikes in the channel, and that is not always the case. We are sometimes scared to go to that high speed or braking instantly, and this bike did not disappoint. It felt really safe, sturdy, felt like I could just let go of my hands and this bike would just keep going. So that is how safe I felt with this electric bike. The riding comfort was also top notch with this. The front fork suspension does an amazing job, and then of course the suspension seat post that they added as an accessory, but it came with my bike. I think if you order any of the XP 3.0, I believe that may come with the bike right now. So that was a really good deal. The suspension seat port definitely helps, and it's a giant seat here. It doesn't hurt. You know, some of the electric bike I have had, like I go 10 miles and it is already hurting my bottom, but this one doesn't do that. So really good choice on the seat and the saddle. It just felt like Lectric really thought out the consumers and what consumers want and made this electric bike. And a rear rack that can support up to 150 pounds is unheard of without being a cargo electric bike. We have reviewed cargo electric bike that can go all the way to 150 in the past, but just having a regular electric bike, class 2 electric bike, non-cargo electric bike without spending a fortune, this is amazing for being 150 pound capacity on the rear rack. Now, another thing that makes the Lectric stand out from the competition is their certifications. The lithium-ion battery is a UL 2271 certified, and the bike itself is a UL 2849 certification. What that means is that the bike itself has been tested for short circuit, any electrical hazard, and all of that, and I'm gonna put a link down below for what each of those certifications mean. For the battery itself, that is really important. As we get more and more lithium-ion batteries, we have a lot of e-bikes. The safety is the most important aspect, and they thought about this and went through an extreme testing. With the UL 2271 testing, I was reading through, researching what that means, and again, as I say, I'll put a link down below on what that means, but basically they tested it through explosives and puncture and all of that, the short circuit, the battery health, and they thoroughly tested it and approved it so that they can put that certification on this bike. So it is an independent third-party testing, and it passed all of that so it could get the certification. So that's really amazing because not a lot of companies will provide that certification. Now, just like any other reviews that we do, whether for Tesla or electric bike, I do have to nitpick a little bit on this to talk about some of the improvement they can make for future version. One is this key right here. You have to always have this key right here on the bike at all times. So while you're riding, you need to make sure that the key is right here. So I wish they changed that. If you put the key first and then you can take it out, that would be great. It could be a little bit of inconvenience to just have that key there all time. So one change is for them. Another is that while you are folding it, they do send you a Velcro strap so that you can tighten it down. I wish there was something that always stayed on the bike where you can just put a hook or something that stayed in the bike. I don't want to put a Velcro in the bike at all times. So just maybe it's a first world problem. Again, as I said, I'm nitpicking here, but those are the only 2 things, honestly, I can think of for this electric bike. Other than that, I feel like they thought about the consumers. They made it a super consumer-friendly bike. That's why they are super popular. These guys are in the United States, so you can always pick up your phone and they have really good customer service. Just go to their website, check all the reviews, and they are amazing. So the company is great. They make great bikes, and that's why they are very popular, right? This is the most sold electric bike in America, and this is the 3rd most sold EV in the United States after Tesla Model Y and Tesla Model 3. So that'll do it for today's video. This bike, without a doubt, is one of the top bikes in our channel we have ever reviewed, just because how portable it is, how easy it is to set up, the performance that is provided for the price that it charges. So super impressive bike, and overall we had a lot of fun testing this bike, and we're probably gonna be bringing more videos to you all in the future, reviewing this bike and putting this bike through more testing as we get more miles. But for now, an impressive electric bike. And if you found this video helpful, and if you're into electric vehicles, Teslas or e-bikes or tech in general, please give us a follow, give this video a thumbs up, come back again soon for another review like this.